Aloha everybody, Gabe here from the Hawaii Institute of Self-Reliance, his survival. Welcome back, thank you for watching. Today's video is about choosing a survival machete. What would I take into an adverse survival situation where I would think that this would be my only tool, my only blade, my only option, my one tool option. Stick around and check out what I think makes a great survival machete. Yeah, you gotta survive with a machete in the jungle. Okay, I want to start off by saying I'm not a survival Rambo expert. This video is just basically my opinion on what makes a great survival machete. So here we go. A good sheath is absolutely necessary because if you lose your machete, it's worthless. I like a secure sheath. I use baldric when I'm carrying my machete in the jungle. You can wear it on your belt or on your pack, not a big deal, but a good solid sheath is a requirement for a survival machete, in my opinion. And then also full tang is a requirement. You want a tough full tang machete, and that means that the blade goes all the way through the handle and it is connected here, and it is one solid piece of steel, and it's not a rat tail tang. Also, you want a high carbon steel. My favorite is 1070. I find that it holds an edge a good amount of time, and it's fairly easy to sharpen in the field. Also, if you can get an orange handle for your survival machete, I think that's the best, like the hunter orange. Or you can just wrap it in a white Wilson's tennis racket tape, like that. And you want it to be secure in your hand. You don't want it to fly out or have a tendency to fly out of your hand. So this Tramontina has a little hook right there, and I think that's a really good handle, and it's secure. It's not going to fly out of your hand. Also, I'd like to mention, you can't see it on this Tramontina because it's covered in Wilson tape, but there is a lanyard hole. Not everybody uses a lanyard, and it's not that, if you use it, okay. If you don't, not a big deal. But in my opinion, having the option of a lanyard hole is really good in a survival machete, because what if you had to use it over water and you didn't want to risk dropping it in a river or in the ocean or something? Let's say you're on a kayak or something and you have to clear a brush hanging over the river, and you want to have a lanyard so you don't drop the machete into the water, because then it's worthless. Or you'll have a hard time finding it if you drop it into a river or the ocean or something, right? And a 90-degree spine is nice, but most machetes have a 90-degree spine already, and you can just use the blade if you had to, right? Now, most of these machetes are going to be fairly cheap, anywhere from $14 to $20. So they're, a survival machete should never be that much money. People in indigenous people in South America and all over the world where there's jungles, they use these cheap tough machetes, Tramontina, Okapi, or Ontario, or Imakasa, or Condor, stuff like that. So these are definitely budget-friendly survival machetes, and I like the Latin style blade shape like this. It's easy to sharpen in the field, and for a beginner, I believe this is the best blade shape, just because, like, let's say a bolo style machete, it's going to have a lot more weight in the blade, right? So it might wear you out a little bit more, and an odd blade shape might be harder to sharpen for a beginner. So in this video, I'm going to stick pretty much to Latin style blade shapes. I will throw in a Tonto blade shape, but it's not really that big of a deal. But I just wanted to make the point that, for instance, let's say a bolo or a kukri style machete might be a little bit harder to sharpen for a beginner. I'm not saying that they're not as good. I'm just saying, as a beginner survival machete, or just a survival machete in general, I believe the simple Latin style blade shape is just simple, easy, and effective. You just can't go wrong with that. So I just wanted to start with that, and yeah, we'll get into the video, and the first machete should be coming up. Oh yeah. Okay, let's start with 18-inch Tramontina, the ultimate backpacking machete. Okay, in the jungle, I like plastic handles. That is one thing that I really like. Wood handles are okay, like on this 14-inch Tramontina, but they tend to warp and you have to protect them. I would suggest beeswax or something to seal it. You sand it and then you put beeswax on it. But plastic handle is really nice in the jungle. You don't have to worry about it swelling and shrinking and warping. The only thing you have to worry about is it shattering. Yeah, so I'm gonna run down what I think makes a great survival machete. So I said it before, I like 14 to 18 inches. That's a great blade length. Somewhere in between there. It's not too heavy. It's not, it doesn't give you the reach. Like let's say if you got a 12-inch machete, it doesn't quite give you that reach, and they're kind of flimsy and light. So this is the ultimate backpacking machete. I will put links to all these different machetes I'm going to show you in the description box, because I've done videos on them. One of them maybe I haven't, and that will be coming up shortly. But this is, in my opinion, the ultimate backpacking machete. So it would obviously make a great survival machete. 18-inch blade, Tramontina. These are 1070 steel, sharp, and stays sharp for a long time, and they're just great machetes. So obviously they would make a great survival machete. So speaking of Tramontinas, let's go with this 14-inch. This is light, compact, but it would still make a great survival machete. Maybe not the best, in my opinion, out of the group I'm going to show you. I just don't think a 14-inch will give you that reach, right? So, and the wood handle, it can warp, it can get damaged in the jungle. Maybe in the desert it'll be fine, or the mountains, or the mainland. But for a jungle survival machete, wood handles, just not the best. And it doesn't have a lanyard hole. That's another thing. All these machetes that I'll show you, except for this one, has a lanyard hole, and this one doesn't. So that's another reason why this one isn't the best out of the group that I will show you. Still a Tramontina, still really awesome. It's comfortable. It stays sharp. It's that 1070 steel, so it is tough, and these are tough machetes. Now let's go to a 14-inch cold steel. This is their Tanto machete. This is a good machete for survival. It packs a punch. It's thick, so it can chop, fairly nice. And I'll provide a link to that video that I reviewed this machete. So it can do it. I would say this is a good survival machete. It's got a lanyard hole. I feel confident that it won't slide out of my hand. I feel safe. It's got that weight, but it's compact. So yeah, cold steel Tanto machete, and that is 10. Yeah, the Tanto machete is 1055, made in South Africa. So that's pretty cool. Now another South African machete, or this machete is an Okapi 16-inch, and here it's dirty. I've been using it on the homestead, taking down bananas. I use all my machetes almost daily. So this one's coated, so that's pretty cool. You don't really have to worry about rust too much. Again, plastic handle. There is a lanyard hole. I have wrapped it in grip tape, but it doesn't really need it. Yeah, this is a really good survival machete because it's that 16-inch, so it's still compact, but it gives you that reach, and it chops really well. And I've done a review of this, and I'll provide a link to that review. And this 1055 stays sharp for a good amount of time, and it's tough. I've proven that these Okapi machetes made in South Africa are tough. Now, this brings me to the ultimate, in my opinion, the ultimate survival machete. The one that you would want to bring into a war zone or some natural disaster in, you know, Haiti or something, right? You know what I mean? And it's kind of obvious. It's going to be, of course, an Ontario machete. Now, I do like their 12-inch machetes. It is heavy enough to chop, right? But I think this 18-inch military Okapi machete, or sorry, Ontario machete, I just did the Okapi. Ontario machete right here has been made for 60 years. Plastic handle, 1095 steel. It's got a coating. You can see I've used it quite a bit, and it just stays sharp. It's been used for, like I said, 60 years and been in multiple war zones. I would have to say this is, out of the group that I've just showed you, this is the ultimate survival prepper, survivalist, just you tough, no nonsense, get her done machete right here. And it's tough, won't break on you, thick, so it can chop, right? And you're not going to worry when you're batoning with it or making shelters. It can do all that, and it can do fine tasks. I have a video that I've reviewed this, and I will provide a link to that. So yeah, right here. I mean, not much more you can say about it. It's been proven. People have taken this, I mean, what is it, since like World War II. It's like World War II, Vietnam, I'm pretty sure, you know, Bay of Pigs, people probably had some of these. Let's see, what else? Desert Storm, maybe. I wouldn't bring this necessarily into the desert. I'd bring the 14-inch Tramontina. But in the jungle, definitely, it's proven itself. So, I will provide links to where you can buy all these machetes off of Amazon, and they're all really good deals. Everything that I show you is budget friendly, so it's a budget friendly survival jungle machete, and how I would choose them and what I like. I mean, it's right here, it's plastic handle, full tang, it's got a lanyard hole, it's got a little hook right here, it's got a nice edge on it, it's, you know, thicker than the Tramontinas, right, and the Okapi. So here's an Okapi, it's a little bit thicker, this is a little bit tougher. Here's a Tramontina, you can see that, they're just a little bit thicker, these Ontario machetes. So I will provide a link to where you can buy all these that I showed you, and that helps support the channel. That would be awesome. And I hope you like this video. I hope you comment. I hope you hit that red subscribe button and hit that bell symbol for notifications when I upload a video. And until next time, hello.